Now folks, you can go down the rabbit hole if you want. You can start pointing fingers if you want. You can blame the Jews, blame the Jesuits, blame the Vatican, blame the Illuminati, blame whoever you want. But don't do it as a way of avoiding responsibility, because the people who are responsible for this situation are us. Now, I've just explained to you how it all works. So you ask yourself from this point on, do you choose to go on with this system? Do you choose to remain enslaved to this cartel? And if the answer to that is no, then start spreading information to people. Start helping people become aware of how the world is run. Download this radio show and play this to people. But do something. Start making waves and stop complying with this system. There's a myriad of books out there on how the money system works. There's a myriad of books available on how to clear debt. You've just got to be prepared to stand your ground, to take the system on, to go to court and speak your mind if necessary. And going to court on your own might be a scary thing, but folks, if you wake up the people around you, if you wake up your community and connect with your community, then you won't be going to court alone. You can go to court and you can take 1,000 people with you. Take everybody in your community with you, because once everybody is awake to how the system runs, then everybody is going to want to go with you. When you wake up to how the system works, when you wake up to how much the people of the world are being shafted, I mean, there's really no choice in the matter. You can't simply go along with it because it's ridiculous. And besides, if you do go along with it, then your family and all your descendants and everybody you know is going to end up losing everything they own, because that's the way the system is designed. Eventually, it'll all be owned by the banking cartels. This will be presented as being owned by the state, and this may be perceived by some people as being fascism or socialism when the state owns all wealth. But what they're failing to see is that the state itself is also owned by these banking cartels. What this is ultimately is Fabian socialism. We will have one class of elites who sit above the entire system and are free from all prosecution and control all resources, and we'll have the worker drones. And between those two classes will be the control mechanism, which will appear as government. And this is virtually the way it is now, only it's done covertly, and they haven't quite got control of all the resources yet. You see, it's kind of like a big game of chess to them, folks. They just want to control all the pieces. And government is the mechanism that they use to exercise this control. And they really don't care about how many countries they have to destroy and how many people they have to kill to do it. You see, they really have no empathy at all, folks. It's just not part of their psychological makeup. But as I said, government is the mechanism that they use to exercise their control. And this is quite obvious to see, as I've often said, when one looks at where the word government actually comes from, which is the Latin gubermente, which means control mind. So government itself is simply one big mind control operation to make people believe that the fictional paper-based system that we live in is actually real. But it's not. What's real is the wonderful earth that we live on and the beautiful people who live upon it. But currently this wonderful earth and its beautiful people are both held tightly in the clutches of a fictional system which really doesn't care about the earth and really doesn't care about the people. It's a system designed by human beings, but it's a thoroughly inhuman system. But the beauty of it, the simplicity of it, is that the system is fictional. It only exists on paper. And therefore it is very easy for the human race to free itself from the clutches of this system, should we choose to accept the opportunity we are being provided with to do so. And the time to act really is now, folks, because as positive as one wishes to remain, the fact is that such opportunities are not presented often, and never are they presented lightly. So we need to make the choice while the choice is still available to us, because the choice may not always be there. and we are running out of time. Well, we are getting very close to the end of the show here again, folks. Thank you for putting up with my mindless babble. Now, last week on the show I mentioned that I'd really like to put a full-page ad in every newspaper in Australia, and I've had some emails from people and some messages from people all expressing their desire to show support in such an action. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to organise a way for people to donate to this cause specifically on the website. Someone has even suggested that I do a money bomb type affair and put a thermometer on a page so that people know how much money is being donated and know when the target's achieved. And I have no idea how to do this, folks. So if anybody could help me set up something like that, I would be most appreciative. I've also had a large number of requests from people wanting me to add subtitles to my videos, to my radio shows that I post on YouTube. I've explained to them that I don't script any of these shows, and so it would be rather time-consuming for me to have to listen to the show back and then write it all out and add subtitles to the YouTube clip. So if anybody would like to do that, if anybody would like to get any of my radio shows and add simply English subtitles, this is because many people who speak foreign languages can actually read English better than they can understand what I'm saying. And so I've had many people request me to add English subtitles to the clips. So if anybody would like to take up that challenge, I mean, perhaps you could open up a YouTube channel, you could add all of my clips to it with English subtitles, and I would be happy to link to you from my other YouTube channel and to link to you from the Crow House and to point people in that direction. I could put a link on any of the clips that I post to point people to your subtitled clips and whatever. I mean, I'm sure we could work something out, but that would be a great thing. If anybody feels like helping, they are two jobs that I would very much like to see done. If anybody feels like taking up the challenge or has the spare time with which to do so. Well, thank you very much for listening to the show again today, folks. Thank you for giving me the time that you have. Thank you for your supportive emails. I'd be interested in whatever country you happen to be in at the moment to check that you still can access thecrowhouse.com. I've been getting reports from people that it may be banned in certain places, but I haven't been able to confirm that because I simply haven't had time. So if you could do me a favor and just check the website, see if it does open for you, and get back to me, maybe post on this clip or maybe send me an email, it would be great to know. Well, thank you very much for spending this time with me today, folks. I very much enjoy the opportunity that I have to come onto the air and talk to you the way I do, and I very much appreciate the fact that so many of you listen. I'll look forward to speaking to you again next week. Take care until then. In Lakesh.